What is going on? Welcome to another Level Up training. Today I'm going to be talking about how to stay on track for the weekends, okay? During the weekends, because I know this is a lot of make or break for a lot of people. So I want to make sure you guys enjoy your fat loss journey, enjoy your fitness journey without feeling like you have to give up your life, you have to give up that time with family and friends just to see a certain goal. We can go out, we can have fun. It's just about being prepared and understanding how to attack and how to approach these moments of time so that you don't feel like one weekend or one day is throwing out your success, because that's usually what makes you want to give up. So we're not going to give up. We're going to be prepared. This is how we're going to do it. Okay. So step one. Oh yeah, because you can get results like this by following these steps and enjoying your life. Okay. So step one is just preparation. So this starts on Thursday. Sometimes I even tell a lot of my clients start on Sunday, right? Sunday night, just map out what your week looks like. Yeah, things might change here and there, but I mean, for the most part, if you can map things out, get it out of your head onto a piece of paper, onto a calendar, onto your phone or whatever, it helps you de-stress so that when you go into those moments or go into those times where you're going out to eat, you're not eating stressed and overwhelmed and worried and giving into those temptations, right? Preparedness is key. Preparedness will help you step away from temptation and into success on your fat loss journey without feeling like crap. Okay. So this starts on Thursday, let's just say. So plan out the next 3 days because we know Friday night is when the weekend starts. Okay. What is happening when? Are you eating out Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday? Are you doing one of those days, two of those days, all 3 days? When is it? And where are you going? Make sure you have protein prepped in the fridge. Meal prep is going to be key here on your fitness journey, on your fat loss journey. Don't just prepare your food for 5 days. Prepare it for all 7 days. Okay. Saturday and Sunday are other days in the week. Count it, make food for enough of those days. And never eat until you feel full. Okay. Now this, I could put this into, the step 2 part when you're actually there, but honestly, preparation is key. Okay. So just understand you're not going to go there and try to eat until you feel gross, right? If you are doing a super restrictive diet, yeah, you're going to probably want to, because maybe you're cutting out carbs. Maybe you're cutting out all the sugar in the world. Maybe you're cutting out foods you actually enjoy. And when you get there, there's an issue of, oh, I'm going to have this one meal and it's going to help me feel satisfied. You're not. You're going to go off the walls. You're going to go binging. You're going to go crazy going there being so restrictive. So you might have to even change your diet, your regular fat loss diet on a day-to-day basis, because it might be too restrictive. So remember, you don't want to eat until you feel full. Stop when you're satisfied. This helps control your hunger hormone and your hunger signals. Okay. Helps your relationship with food when you only eat until you're satisfied. Don't overdo it. Okay. That's part of preparedness. Step 2 is the day of nutrition. Still part of preparedness, but the day of nutrition is key. Okay. Do not starve yourself the day of going out. Don't skip meals. This leads to binging when you are there and overeating. So this creates a bad relationship with food. Try to eat. So you're going to eat your meals before you go out, right? Whether it's 2 or 3 meals, but usually it's like two meals and a snack. So try to eat 80 to 90% of your protein in the meals prior to going out, right? There's no way you're going to hit your protein goal if you are just eating when you're at the restaurant. It's going to be impossible to get even over like 100 grams of protein usually, okay? Well, it might not be impossible, but it's going to be very expensive to get that much protein in at one shot, as well as you're just going to feel full and you're not going to finish it, right? So try to eat 80 to 90% of your protein in the meals prior to going out. The meals prior to going out, keep it to protein, veggies, fruits mainly, so you can bank most of your calories for the food at the event. Right? If you keep it to just your protein, veggies, and fruits, you're going to get some of your fats from protein and things like that. You're going to save a lot of your carbs, right? So if you're not having the rice, the bread, the naan, the pita, the wrap, potatoes, whatever it is, the day of going out, if you can keep it either to, depending on how much of a deficit you're in, right? If you're eating like 1,500 calories in your deficit, maybe 1,600, you're probably going to want to not eat as many carbs or keep it very extremely low carbs before going out. So to the meals prior, if you usually have, let's say, a rice bowl, right? Chicken, rice, veggies, just have the veggies and the chicken and skip on the rice, or just put like a very tiny amount of rice. And then if you have a sandwich after, just have, a sandwich without the bread. So just have the veggies, some of the sauce, and the protein. And then when you're out, you can have a burger. You could have, a whole rice bowl or maybe a pasta dish sometimes, and you'll be able to save a lot of calories that way and still enjoy the food while you're out, right? So that's one way to do it. Have a protein shake before heading out or on the way there, because one, it'll help you kind of curb a little bit of hunger you might feel before getting there. So you're not eating with your eyes, you're not eating with your stomach, you're eating based on what your goals are, okay? That's it. It's nothing crazy, no starving, and it's very simple. Don't skip meals. Just minimize the amount of calories you're eating in the meals. Usually putting carbs very low and just sticking to protein, veggies, and fruits can help a lot. And that way when you go out, you can have fun. Now, if your calories are like at 1800 or like 1900 and above, and you're in a deficit or you're just maintaining your weight, then yeah, you can have some carbs in the meals prior, but just keep it a little bit lower, okay? Now, step 3, the day of, okay? So, or at the actual event, I should say. If you're going to a restaurant, okay, so I put 3 options here, the most typical ones. If you're going to a restaurant, check out the menu before going out, choose high protein options, only have an entree 90% of the time, okay? Skip the appetizer, skip the dessert. You don't need it every single time you're out, okay? 10% of the time, I get it, you're gonna want it, but listen, you don't have to do that every single time, especially in your calorie deficit. You can go there and have the food, you can go there and have certain things, it's just making modifications to it and making sure you're not like, oh, let me have everything that I see. One, you're gonna save a lot of calories that way, and you're not gonna feel gross after the fact. 2, you're not gonna feel guilty. And 3, you're going to save a lot of money. Let's be real. If you can skip the appetizer and dessert and just stick an entree, you'll save a lot of money. If you have dessert, share it, right? The 10% of the time you're going to eat some extra food, an appetizer, dessert, just share it. Try not to do appetizer, entree, and dessert when you're in a calorie deficit. That's going to add like at least 2,000 calories to your day, which is probably going to take you well above your calorie deficit. So just try to stick to an entree as much as you can, or share the dessert and appetizers, okay? And again, remember, just eat until you're satisfied. Don't eat until you feel gross. But 90% of the time, just stick to an appetizer. Just stick to an entree. Ask for extra protein and get a side salad or veggies instead of fries, right? So most times, and I'll tell you which ones I usually get extra protein with, but every single time I skip fries, like again, 10% of the time I'll have it if I know that, hey, I can have a little bit more this day, my calories are here, it's okay to have some fries, like I'm chilling, I'm good, then I'll do it. But 90% of the time I'm skipping the fries or the mashed potatoes and I'm putting a side salad or veggies. Sometimes I'll even have rice instead of the mashed potatoes, so that way I know that mashed potatoes are very high calorie, they put a lot of butter, a lot of cream. Rice is just rice there, you just steam it. And then stay away from alcohol as much as possible. Okay, this one might be hard for a lot of you, but listen, if you can keep alcohol to a very minimum, your fat loss will be so much easier to reach, okay? So keep alcohol to a very, very minimum. I like to tell my clients, listen, like, I don't really drink. I drink typically once a month, and even then it's like 1 or 2 glasses or something. I don't really go crazy. The odd times I'll have a little bit more, but I don't really go crazy. And if you're gonna have alcohol, stick to the clear stuff, right? Like white alcohol, so like the vodka, white rum, white tequila, things like that. Maybe even gin. And then my go-to orders at restaurants are typically this. So grilled chicken sandwiches with salad is my staple. Steak or blackened chicken with side veggies. Fajita, right? Chicken or steak fajita, chicken or steak wraps. Maybe a fish or like things like that as like a main as well. I could put blackened salmon, tilapia, things like that. And then bowls, right? And then I always add extra protein to fajita wraps and bowls because typically they don't really come with a lot of protein, so I want more. So I'll add extra protein. And yeah, I keep it simple. If you're vegetarian, obviously I would try to get 90% of your protein before going out because it's going to be very hard to hit your protein goal as a vegetarian at restaurants. So try to get most of it before you actually go out. And yeah, that'll help a lot. And if you're going to Indian restaurants, things like that, I still will stick to grilled chicken options, right? Like you can get a chicken tikka masala or like the tandoori chicken. Well, tikka masala actually comes in like a curry usually, but let's say you just get like the achari chicken or maybe chicken, tandoori chicken, like things like that you can just order that are plain, they don't come in a curry or like a sauce. That will help a lot. And you stick to one carb at those places, right? There's going to be naan, there's going to be rice, there's going to be so many like carb options. Just stick to one and keep it there, okay? If you're going to a wedding or event, same concept, right? The preparation of the day of nutrition, this is what you're going to do before you go. So if you are going to the wedding or event, like a hall event or something like that, stick to either a main course or just an appetizer, right? For Indian weddings, South Asian weddings, it's very easy to just do that because it's a buffet style, right? So you don't have this plates that are coming out based on what you already asked for. So stick to just an appetizer or main course. Don't have both. Try to have the dry protein sources over fried or curry. Choose one carb. Again, a buffet style, it's going to give you a bunch of options. Just choose one, okay? Your plate should be 50% protein, 25% carbs, 25% veggies. You're going to get enough fat from the protein. So 25% of your plate's going to be carbs, 25% of your plate is going to be veggies, 25% will be protein based on just trying to have the drier ones if possible. Again, try to stay away from alcohol. For most weddings, South Asian weddings especially, it's usually open bar. But again, just if you're going to do the one time and very often when you have it, I get it. That's where you probably do it. You can save a lot of money that way. And, just don't go crazy, right? If you're going to a wedding, right, typically like a Catholic or Christian wedding, it's more so they give you plates. It's not a buffet, right? So when you choose the option, just choose the leaner sources of protein, right? Have the appetizer, have the main. Just try to skip out on the carbs before going out so you can actually enjoy it and keep in your calories. And yeah, you'll be good. That will be a very, very easy way for you to stay on track at a wedding. Now, Number 3, family or friends home. This one's usually a bit trickier, right? So ask what they're making before going out so you can prepare your day. Now, usually it's easier with family, and depending how close you are with friends, everybody knows me, so for me, they actually just tell me before I come, hey, I'm making this. I appreciate them so much for it. Usually family, I'll just ask anyways, and then I'll know how to kind of prepare my day, right? So most times though, I know you don't want to be an inconvenience. I get that, right? So 80% of your protein to 90% of your protein should be hit before going out, just like I said before. So that when you're there, they'll probably have protein. Like, let's be real, they will probably have some source of protein, even a vegetarian. Like, maybe you have tofu, maybe you have, seitan, or like, well, I almost said Satan. I meant, oh my God, I can't even say the word. Anyways, seitan or whatever, you know what I mean. As well as even maybe Beyond Meat, or honestly, like even tofu or paneer, right? If you're Indian, we'll eat that. But most times you'll have some kind of protein, right? Meat protein as well. But if you don't, just try to get most of your protein before going out. That'll help a lot. You'll be tempted to eat more than one serving. I get it, especially when you go to a family's house. They might make you feel guilty for not doing it. Just don't, man. You're a grown adult, okay? You're a grown adult. You can say no to a plate. If it's hard, these are 2 things I usually go to. 1, oh my God, that was so good, but I'm so full right now. Thank you so much. I'm good, right? That's really the only thing I usually say. I just say, I'm so full. This was so good. Thank you so much. Sometimes I even trick them into thinking I had a second plate when I didn't. It's all good. It's all to stay on track, right? To get to the body that you want. Stick to 1 plate, and then 0-calorie drinks if possible, or just water. Right? Like, just stick to the 0-calorie options instead. It'll help so much. That's it. Super simple, guys. There's nothing complicated about this. But the preparedness you have, like, I'm going to show this page again. This is key. Making sure you're getting your veggies, fruits, and protein in before going out. You're not skipping meals. You're getting to 80 to 90% of your protein before heading out will save you so much on your fitness journey. Okay? So this is super key. And then just not eating until you feel gross. Okay? And then the day after, right? There's no need to feel guilty. If you're following these steps, you prepared yourself well, got to enjoy the night out with friends and family, and stayed on track. The next day, you don't have to do extra cardio. You just go back to the plan that worked. You go back to the plan that was working because you didn't go off the rails on these other days. If you did more than an entree, then keep breakfast a little bit lighter. So if you had dessert and you had an appetizer, maybe you had one or the other and you just had a lot, then just keep breakfast lighter, right? Protein, fruits, and then go about your day as you would in regular meals with the carbs and everything like that. Just your regular plan. 1 to 2 days aren't going to make or break your success, okay? It's the overall consistency and learning how to mitigate the damage that will help you stay on track. And this is what happens, man. When you stay on track and you stay true to your goals and you're just more prepared than you are worried or stressed about going out or worried or stressed about failing. When all you are stressed about is failure, you will fail. When you can put your mind towards how do I mitigate the failure? How do I mitigate the stress? How do I mitigate how to actually stay on track? When you're prepared, this is what happens. All of these changes will happen, okay? That's it. 1% better every day. Let's go kill it, crush it. Comment what you would like to see next. Please like, subscribe. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next week.